good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So we have some unfortunate news, as reports have now surfaced that the highly anticipated undisputed showdown between undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin "The Dream" Haney, who has 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'8", with a 72-inch arm reach, facing off against newly crowned unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., who is 20 wins, no losses, no draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. He's 28 years of age, 5'9", with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, George Kambosos Jr., he shocked the world November 27th as he defeated former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez via majority decision victory in New York at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world. With that said, a week later, December 4th, Devin Haney, he defeated former IBF super featherweight world champion Mexican superstar boxer Joseph Jojo Diaz via unanimous decision in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It was expected that we'll see these guys face off against one another, as it should be, just simple mathematics, okay? It should just fall into place as it'll be for the official undisputed lightweight 4 sanction belt holder and Ring Magazine champion in historic event, because the winner of this fight would be the first lightweight to hold all 4 major sanction belts and hold the Ring Magazine in the linealship at the lightweight division. There's been other undisputed lightweight champions in the history of sport of boxing, obviously, but none to hold all 4 belts, okay? There's only 6 fighters in the history of sport to hold all 4 belts, that being Bernard Hopkins at 1, Jermaine Taylor at 2, who beat Bernard Hopkins. At 3, you have Terrence Bud Crawford at junior welterweight. At 4, you have Alexander Usyk at cruiserweight. At 5, you have Josh Taylor at junior welterweight, second junior welterweight to do so behind Terrence Crawford. And at 6, you have newly crowned undisputed super middleweight Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's 4-division world champion. So with that said, history can be made when George Kambosos Jr. and Devin Haney come to face-to-face. And after the fight, George Kambosos Jr., he stated he wanted the fight to take place in Australia. Devin Haney was willing to oblige. Well, now, George Kambosos Jr. team is coming out. He's promoted by Lou DiBella. They're coming out and they're stating that Devin Haney has priced himself out of the fight. They can't come up with a number to satisfy Devin Haney to make the fight happen. And so now they also had their sights set on possibly facing off against 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Vasily Lomachenko. But they want a 2-fight deal. We know Lomachenko is signed with top-ranked legendary promoter, CEO Bob Arum, and they want a rematch clause. According to George Kambosos' team, they want a rematch clause, a 2-fight deal to fight Vasily Lomachenko, and a 2-fight deal to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney's willing to oblige, but they're saying that they can't come up with a number to oblige Devin Haney, which I'm going to attest to that. And when it comes to Lomachenko, we know Bob Arum, he doesn't believe in rematch clauses, okay? So they want a 2-fight deal with Lomachenko, which is a rematch clause, and according to their team, they're not willing to oblige. So now they're saying that they have set their sights on a 2-fight deal with undefeated rising Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia. 21 wins, no losses, no draws. 18 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'10", with a 70-inch arm reach. Last time you saw him in the ring was January of 2021 when he defeated Olympic gold medalist, British superstar title contender Luke Campbell via 7th round stoppage, okay, after being floored in the fight. So he hasn't been in the ring in over a year. He keeps postponing fights. He was supposed to come back in July and face off against Javier Fortuna. That fell through. Okay, then he was supposed to come back and fight against Joseph Jojo Diaz. That fell through as Joseph Diaz defeated Javier Fortuna, replacing Ryan Garcia. He was supposed to fight Joseph Diaz. That fell through. He cited injuries and all types of things as to why he couldn't get back in the ring. And then you had his mentor and big brother figure in 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who I just told you guys is the undisputed super middleweight and the many people consider to be the face of the sport of boxing, in Saul Canelo Alvarez, questioning the motive of Ryan Garcia and the hunger of Ryan Garcia, saying that he has to be dragged into the gym. You know, he's not motivated, he's not focused, and he's wasting his talent. Okay. You know, there's a lot going on. Ryan Garcia was in negotiations to fight 3-division undefeated world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, but that fell through. As Ryan Garcia, he cited that, you know, he had another big option on the table, was to fight against legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pacquiao. Well, we know that wasn't true, because Manny Pacquiao's team, they came out and they disputed that. And not only did they dispute that, they told the world that if Ryan Garcia continued to tell these stories, they would take legal action. So with that said, you know, that fight obviously didn't come to fruition, and Ryan Garcia hasn't been seen in the ring since. So he turns his attention from Gervonta Tank Davis to quote-unquote Manny Pacquiao, and then Javier Fortuna, then Joseph Diaz, and he still hasn't fought yet, okay? So with that said, George Kambosos Jr. and his team are now saying that George Kambosos will have an interim fight, and then he will go into a fight in the second half of the year, 2022, against Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia is going to come back in April, and then he's going to face off against George Kambosos Jr. in the second half of the year. This is unfortunate, because Ryan Garcia is just not worthy as of this time to receive an opportunity to fight for the unified titles. Okay, he's done nothing in his career to garner him fighting for the unified titles. Okay, I would much rather see, number one objective should be to fight Devin Haney to officially become undisputed, and the number two objective should be, if that's the case, would be Lomachenko. Okay, but Ryan Garcia should not be in the equation. Now, with that said, I'm confused, because they're saying that they can't come up with a number to satisfy Devin Haney, when George Kambosos Jr., he asked Devin Haney to put up the money. So how can there's confusion here? That's a contradiction. If they were asking Devin Haney, Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, and DAZN, and DHP, Devin Haney Promotion, and father trainer manager Bill Haney, to put up the money, then why they're saying that they are having a hard time coming up with the money to satisfy Devin Haney, okay? When Devin Haney is supposed to be coming up the money to satisfy them, okay? So there's a lot of confusion there when it comes to that. And the funny part about it is, the interesting thing about it is, George Kambosos Jr. stated that it's not about money, it's about legacy and entertaining the fans. He said that he's a different fighter. He's just a dog and want to fight and prove himself and solidify his legacy. Well, now when it comes to Devin Haney, he's talking about money. Okay, he even told Devin Haney that he needed to, you know, part ways with his belongings to make sure he come up with enough money to pay the purse for a showdown. Okay, but now, so initially it wasn't about the money, is what he stated. It was about legacy and the most entertaining fights he could put on for the fans, and make sure that he could do so back in Australia. Well, now he's changing his tune, and he's looking for the biggest money, obviously, or the least amount of money he could give to Devin Haney. Well, we know Eddie Hearn, DAZN, and Matchroom, and DHP are willing to pay him the biggest purse of his career, okay? And with that said, we know Eddie Hearn has already given George Kambosos Jr. the biggest purse of his career, because his fight with Teofimo Lopez went to a purse bid, which Teofimo Lopez obviously was the A side, and so his promotional company had first dibs, and they bid $2.3 million. But Matchroom and Eddie Hearn bid 3.2, and then Triller came in and bid $6 million. Okay, so they won, but Triller dropped out because of the back and forth and being unable to, you know, solidify the fight and make the fight come to fruition and get a date done. They dropped out, so went to the next highest bidder, which was Eddie Hearn in DAZN, which staged the Teofimo Lopez George Kambosos Jr. fight. So they know exactly what George Kambosos' number is. So now George Kambosos Jr.'s team is saying that that Devin Haney's team, and Devin Haney is pricing himself out. This is unfortunate. This should be a very easy fight to be made. Okay, this should be just It should just be able to fall in line. I don't understand what the holdup is. I don't understand what the snag is. I don't understand how this fight is becoming so difficult when Devin Haney is willing to oblige him and take every cautions possible to make the fight come to fruition. And now George Kambosos Jr. is saying that that Devin Haney's team and Devin Haney are pricing himself out, and that Vasily Lomachenko is unwilling to take a 2-fight deal. So he's worked his way out of a deal, and now they're focusing on Ryan Garcia. Amazing. So we know his promoter, Lou DiBella, unfortunately, was stating that Devin Haney was an email champion and clearly didn't have much interest in doing business with Devin Haney immediately after George Kambosos won the fight, as he stated that their number one objective was to secure a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. But we knew Floyd Mayweather Promotion, the PBC, that side is not going to let Gervonta Tank Davis go to Australia. And then he said the number 2 objective would be to secure a possible fight with George Kambosos, with Richard Coleman, Lomachenko winner, and Devin Haney was an email champion. This is horriblebusiness.com. And on top of that, the fans are not being taken into consideration. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.